Good morning and welcome to the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh here with Janice.
Yep.
It is here. It is Thursday. We are almost done with another week. Yet again.
This month's going by fast.
I know. It feels like literally yesterday was October 1st and I was like, oh yay, spooky season has begun. And now it's like, dude, Halloween's
season's already almost over.
I know. It's like, dude, Halloween's like next weekend. It's crazy.
So, has your Bane costume fully arrived?
Yes. I got the mask and it fits perfectly.
Dope. Is it breathable?
Yes.
Okay.
I was worried at first.
That was one of my worries too. It's like,
Yeah. So
oh,
like,
is Josh gonna be able to breathe in that thing?
yeah, no, I had it on for a good like 10 minutes and I was moving around a ton just to make sure that I could actually breathe in it. But worst comes to worst, it has a couple of breathing holes at the bottom that you can't really see. Worst comes to worst, since it has more holes where like the regulator piece is on the mask. Worst comes to worst, I can maybe like take like a toothpick or like a needle and just poke like a couple more just to be safe. And because it's discreet on the rubber back, there is black, like you can't really see it. So,
cool.
you know, worst comes to worst, I'll just have to do that. But like I put it on and I was like, I had it on for like a good like 10 minutes and I was like moving around a ton just to make sure that I could actually breathe in
Did
it.
you practice your voice with the mask on?
I did, and part of me thinks like honestly, it's easier for me to do the voice with the mask. Like I don't even have to like stretch my voice out that much to do the voice in the mask, but out like without wearing the mask, I actually have to like push the voice out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it works.
Yeah. You got to do the voice.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really try because oh man, although it'll be tricky to try to. How do I say this? Like, to try to say everything in that voice will be tricky, but we'll see.
Just do it every now and then.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it the whole time
True.
at the dance.
True.
Just do it like a little bit, like
True.
if.
But we'll see. We'll see. But yes, we do have the Monster Mash costume dance coming up this upcoming, not this Friday, but next Friday,
Along
7
with
to
Spirit
11,
Week.
along with Spirit Week, 7 to 11 p.m. in the Student Commons. Costumes are encouraged.
Be there, or Josh will be in your closet.
That is terrifying.
I'm
no,
joking.
I won't do that.
I'm joking.
I like not being in jail. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, no. Let's go ahead and get a quick check of your weather here on this wacky Thursday episode of the Dumpster Fire. Currently in Fort Lupton, we are looking at 66 degrees, a high of 75, a low of 41, sunny skies or fair skies and no wind. Currently in Windsor, hey, look, an ad for a Toyota I can't afford.
Did that happen on Tuesday also?
It did. I swear, Toyota's stalking me at this
I
point.
want you to buy a Toyota.
Yeah, but I don't want a Toyota.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. Currently in Windsor, we're looking at 54 degrees, a high of 83, a low of 40, sunny skies, wind gusts of up to 2 miles per hour. In Loveland, we are currently looking at 67 degrees, a high of 82, a low of 46, sunny skies, wind gusts of a whopping 2 miles per hour. And on the home campus of Greeley, 71 degrees, a high of 83, a low of 39, sunny skies, wind gusts of a whopping 3 miles per hour.
That's
Huh.
weird. I didn't feel any wind when walking here.
No, I was going to say, what was it, yesterday morning? It was really windy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, because
I was just hearing it hit the house.
Oh,
Luckily,
dang.
I wasn't outside at that time.
Yeah, no,
Boy,
I
you
had
sleeping in for
the
once.
I had the window open just a crack last night, or no, the night before, and I just heard my blinds just like crashing, and I was like, "What the heck?" And it woke me up, and I'm like, "Okay, gotta close the window now."
So I'm just gonna leave this shut.
Yeah, because like normally if it's cool, like I'll leave it open a little bit just to like help cool my room off since my room's so bloody hot all the time.
Yeah,
because all
especially
the
since you
stuff.
got a PC and a PS5 in there.
2 PCs technically.
Yeah, you want to make sure those stay cool.
Yeah. But it was just a crazy time. But now we will go ahead and let it get back to the music here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. Stay tuned. We got a great show coming up here for y'all. And we are back on the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh here with Janice.
Yep, I'm still here.
I was going to say happy Spider-Man release eve.
Heck yeah.
If you pre-ordered it digitally and you have it pre-installed, it unlocks, I believe, at 10 o'clock tonight. I'm not sure if GameStops around here are doing any launch events for the game. They might. I haven't really looked.
I don't know. They don't do that too much anymore.
I think they only do it now for, like, huge games. So Spider-Man would be one of them, because I know they did one
Yeah.
for Tears of the Kingdom,
Yeah,
which I
know
ended
about
up missing. But,
Yeah,
oh well.
They might do one for Spider-Man too.
I think
You
they
never
will,
know.
just
You
because
never
it's
know.
so big. But also, too, like, dude, you're going to laugh at me. I somehow haven't pre-ordered it.
I'm disappointed in you, Josh.
Well, I think I'm waiting until that, like, But also, keep in mind, who was the one who decided to go and buy 2 copies of Red Dead Redemption?
Also, you were also the one to, buy Cyberpunk for the PS4
Yeah.
before the reviews came out.
Well, yeah, I was hyped. And CD Projekt Red is a good publisher, so typically, when they release something, it typically works. Obviously Cyberpunk was that rare exception. But also, I digress. It's like, okay, for those of you wondering, yes, I bought 2 copies of Red Dead Redemption because the physical editions came out last week. I bought a copy for the Switch, and I bought a copy for PlayStation.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Let me guess. You're also going to buy those, the Metal Gear Solid...
The Master Collection?
Yeah, Volume 1.
Yeah, I know I want a physical version.
They're really emphasizing that as Volume 1, too. Because,
Yes.
the Volume 1's all big on the graphic.
Yeah. Yeah, so my guess is there's going to be more, which makes sense because if the whole plan is to bring the whole Metal Gear series to modern consoles, then they have to do a Volume 2.
That means we need Metal Gear Solid 4 on modern consoles, finally.
Yes, it'll finally be free of the PlayStation prison. Well, not the prison, but
I just realized
the
too, how are they
exclusivity.
going to remove the 6-axis segments?
Well, I mean, on PlayStation, the PS4 controller has some motion sensor capability. The PS5 one does. My curiosity is on Xbox.
Yeah, I just thought about that because there's a lot of...
Yeah, because Xbox doesn't have the it doesn't have a motion sensor in the controller. The Switch does. The Joy-Cons do. So they could keep, if they were to... Although trying to get 4 to run on a Switch might be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's a bad idea. We saw.
I mean, they got
Mortal
Red Dead to run on the Switch and actually runs awesome on the Switch, which
yeah,
is
but
crazy.
We saw Mortal Kombat on the Switch. And
yeah,
I'm not just talking about Mortal Kombat 1. I'm talking about 11 also.
11 still looks like a masterpiece on the Switch compared to 1. Let's be real.
Nightmares 2 looks horrendous.
Yeah, but also enough bashing the Switch. I'm just saying,
Nintendo, make a serious console, please.
Nintendo does what Nintendo wants. We've known this since day one.
And then they wonder why they struggle to make money sometimes.
They do not struggle to make money.
I said sometimes.
No, they don't.
And
What they
also
don't
get the big
make up in
games.
game, what they don't make in game sales, they make up for in merchandise.
I need to see Cyberpunk on Switch now.
I think even CD Projekt Red at that point, they're like, no. They're like, no.
They're like, okay, we're crazy, but we're not that crazy.
Yeah, no,
We're
that
crazy
would
enough
be
to
too
finish
much.
to release an unfinished game, but we're not crazy enough to put it on the Switch.
Yeah. But also, too, CD Projekt Red is taking steps to avoid another Cyberpunk type of fiasco because they already said for The Witcher 4, what they did with Cyberpunk is they were working on the PC version first, and then they didn't focus on porting it to consoles until way later in the development cycle, which is why the PC version of the game was amazing at launch and the console versions weren't. They already said that they're testing all 3 at the same time to make sure that all 3 versions work.
Oh.
So CD Projekt Red is learning from their mistakes, which I'm like, good. And apparently in other news, Season 5 of Halo Infinite came out, and it actually got a bit of a resurgence. The Steam count, the player count on Steam doubled this past week, which was pretty impressive because a lot of people by this point had kind of written Halo Infinite off, so I'm kind of happy that they did add
Still relevant.
more to it. Well, the multiplayer is. I was going to say, I like the campaign. I like the idea that they went open world with it, whereas a lot of other Halo games were kind of linear. So it was a good refresh, but the thing with Halo Infinite is that they just took forever to get anything out. It's like,
fair.
keep in mind, this game has been out almost 2 years, and they're barely on Season 5, whereas most Call of Duty games go through, how many seasons?
They usually do 6 a year.
6 a year.
But it's 'cause
Halo
you
Infinite's
get
been out
2
for almost 2
months
years.
to beat the whole freaking season.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of time.
True.
Especially since they keep updating the game.
It is very true. But also, too, we have now gotten some more clarity now that the Activision deal has gone through with Microsoft. Phil Spencer has confirmed that we are not seeing any Activision games on Game Pass until 2024 at the very earliest due to regulatory hurdles. So sorry for those of you who were expecting to get all of the COD games and Diablo 4 on Game Pass this week. Because there were rumors about it because when the Bethesda deal went through, when Microsoft bought Bethesda, the day that the transaction closed and they did the big announcement, that same day, a few hours later, almost all the Bethesda games were on Game Pass. It is a little bit different now because Activision is a much, much bigger company than Bethesda. So obviously there's going to be some regulatory hurdles in there. Plus, if there are, for example, like exclusivity deals for certain items with, like if there are certain items on PlayStation that aren't on Xbox, things of that nature, those are just 10 times more difficult to clear through. Plus the fact that there had to be some major concessions made to even get this deal to go through. So yes, for those of you waiting for all the Activision games to show up on Xbox, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. However, the one thing I did notice that Microsoft did do upon closing the deal to buy Activision, Diablo 4 is currently on sale. They did put it for about 25% off, and that deal's been going on for like about a week now since the deal closed. So they are doing little things here and there to kind of like, be like, oh, hey, we're here. But yes, sorry for anybody being like, oh, Modern Warfare 3 will be on Game Pass. Yeah, no, not yet.
Y'all thought you were slick.
Yeah, no, it's like, at least for this year, and I'm going to be honest, I don't think that they're going to have new COD games like on Game Pass day one.
Probably not.
No. I think, honestly, because that game is such a juggernaut, I honestly think what they're going to do is they're going to stagger it out. Like, I think it'll be like around the time that they announce like the next year's game that they put like the old one on Game Pass.
That would make sense.
So like, for example, since we do have Modern Warfare 3 coming out this year, and this is just my theory. My theory is by about May, June of next year, when they start to build up hype for whatever the next game in the series is going to be, because no one knows yet, then they'll put it on Game Pass. But we'll see. I mean, I've been wrong before, and I am not afraid to admit it. But we have already been here talking for a little bit, so we will go ahead and let it get back to the music here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. And we are back on the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh, still here with Janice.
Mm-hmm.
We are still here. So right now, we were just taking a look here on our break, and we did come up on an interesting tidbit. This actually comes from Forbes magazine. Despite being on Xbox Game Pass, which is where the vast majority of people downloaded this title, including yours truly, Starfield was somehow the top-selling game in September.
Well, what all came out in September?
Starfield was obviously, the big one.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up right now.
Wait, I'm looking it up on the computer right here. Oh, there we go. Haha. Let's see here. Okay, so the biggest games that came out in September. Let's see here.
MK1 did.
Oh, okay. There we go. So looks like the biggest ones. Oh, actually, it was kind of a competitive month.
Yeah.
We had, let's see, The Crew Motorfest, F-Zero 99, Mortal Kombat 1, Lies of P, Payday 3, Phantom Liberty for Cyberpunk.
That don't count because that's a DLC.
Baldur's Gate. Oh, that's when Baldur's Gate came out on PlayStation.
Oh, when it released for console?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it was actually a pretty competitive month. It wasn't just it wasn't just Starfield. Obviously, that got most of the ads, though. Although I will notice, like, the week before Cyberpunk, like, they were promoting the daylights out of Mortal Kombat, even though it didn't come out for a couple more weeks afterwards. And then Starfield was, like, all that you saw for advertisements for, like, a week and a half, and then all of the Mortal Kombat ads came back. Lies of P, I definitely want to try it because it's basically like Gothic Pinocchio mixed with Dark Souls. So I definitely want to try that one out. It is on Game Pass.
I heard good things about it.
It's pretty legitimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least there was some solid games that actually came out, not some unfinished, bug-filled garbage.
Yeah, I was going to say, although now there has been another game that has come out very recently that appears to have taken the title from Redfall, although Redfall is pretty much fixed now, to 2023's worst game, and that looks like it was... because it has a funny name. and I saw the gameplay last night. But here it is: Skull Island: Rise of Kong.
They made a Skull Island game.
Yeah, but it was not good.
I didn't even know they were releasing this.
It barely came out just 2 days ago, and a gameplay came out for it, and it is like, oh no. It was basically like the Lord of the Rings Gollum, but King Kong.
We don't talk about that.
There we go. That was the one game I forgot. Wow, see, that just shows. Yeah, no, that game, I mean, that
Big
developer is in so much hot water right now. Because apparently there was that whole thing, too, allegedly, where I guess the apology letter that they had published over how shoddy the game was apparently written by AI. Like, it wasn't even written by any of the actual developers.
The disrespect.
Yeah, and I think actually you can get Gollum. I think they actually like plummeted the price on it. Like right now, keep in mind, Skull Island: Rise of Kong, it's only been out for 2 days and they already have a 20% deal on it.
What the?
Yes, this is not looking good for this game.
That is not good. Who made the game?
Iguana Bee. I ain't never heard of them.
Me neither.
So now let's go ahead and take a look here and see, because I forgot the name of the studio that made the Gollum game, but I'm gonna look. Daedalic Entertainment. I don't know who they are. Oh, what? So apparently Gollum is still $50 on Steam.
Now that's saying something.
That is saying something. Yeah, let's see.
The game was more of a disappointment, if anything.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, how do I say this? The concept of it is interesting because Gollum is kind of an interesting character, but the execution, not very good.
I heard a lot of the complaint was just the gameplay itself was just kind of boring.
And also it was very, very buggy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially, it was mostly texture glitches, I heard. Like,
yeah, a lot of like texture glitches and like things going through things kind of thing.
I mean, at least the game was stable, unlike Redfall.
Yeah, I mean, Redfall, it took them months to get it fixed. It took them approximately 5 months to finally get the patch out that let it do the 60 FPS, and they fixed a lot of the other issues with the game with textures and loading times and everything.
Their adaptive AI.
And their adaptive AI, so it is getting a lot better. It's at least in a playable state now.
The damage has already been done.
The damage has already been done. I do feel that it might make a slight comeback. However, apparently Bethesda wants a quote-unquote redemption arc out of Arcane since they're the ones who made the game. So I think they're going to be pushing Arcane to keep trying to fix like whatever's left of the game and try to get it.
Well, the bar was pretty high because Arcane is a good studio.
Exactly. So I think Bethesda is going to try to basically force them to live up to that standard. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I'm not gonna lie, I did see gameplay of like the patched version of the game, and there is a part of me that's like, I wonder. But also at the same time, I saw how much space it takes up on my Series X, and I'm like, let me wait.
I still think it was funny though. The whole month leading up to Redfall,
yeah,
Xbox all over social media was advertising it like crazy.
They were, but then remember, like a few weeks before it actually came out, they had to drop, the announcement that the game was not going to be 60 FPS at launch, even though they were touting. That was like a huge part of the marketing for the game, was that it was going to be a solid 60 FPS game.
Like even the Xbox profile picture was the Redfall.
Yeah, the Redfall logo and the font and everything.
Yeah, and then even if you went to their Instagram, all their story captions spelt out Redfall and everything.
Yeah, no, they were going crazy.
Then the game came out.
Mm-hmm. They were going crazy with the marketing, but yes, then the game came out. So
literally the next day.
Oh yeah, no, it was pretty disastrous. But I do think that they did really want to bounce back from that. And I mean, props to Arcane for actually, even though it took them months to actually get that patch released for the game, because most other studios, if the game was in that bad a shape, they would have just given up on it.
Losses.
Oh yeah, no, they would have just cut their losses and been like, all right, sell the remaining, physical stock of the games for dirt cheap and, just call it a day, maybe delist it soon. shortly thereafter. But no, I mean, Arcane's sticking in there, so
Yeah. Well, at least they got to it, unlike CD Projekt Red, which took them forever to fix that game.
yeah. Honestly, my thing with Cyberpunk is I think they honestly just should have waited to, because obviously the PC version, that one didn't have a whole lot of issues when it first came out.
It was the console.
It was the
version.
console versions. I honestly think they should have just scrapped the PS4 and the Xbox One release. Yeah. And they should have just made it next gen, because I have the update. I have the Series X version, and it's amazing.
Because, I mean, you've actually experienced the
Yeah,
last
I literally got
generation.
to experience. I've literally been on this Cyberpunk ride since literally day one
Yeah.
when the game came out.
And your poor PS4.
Oh yeah, no, my poor PS4. She put up a valiant fight.
It was a fun ride.
She's still alive. She's still kicking.
Barely. It's like on life support from the sounds of it.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much use it right now to like occasionally stream Spotify and just to watch movies, like my
Yeah.
the
You can't
DVDs I have left.
Can't
but-
really do games on it anymore, huh?
Well, I mean, I don't really have a need to anymore with the PS5, because it's like I thought, because I still left a couple of games installed on my PS4. So then I was just like, let me go ahead and try to fire up. I think it was Arkham City, because for some reason I left a copy of it installed on my PS4, and I put the disc in, and it's just like, "Rrrr," and I'm like, disc out. No, never mind. Like the only games I'll play like on my PS4 are like Turok, because I have 1 and 2 on there, and I kept them on there. But that's about it for like actual gaming. But other than that, I just use it like for my Blu-ray, for like my regular Blu-rays, and then obviously all my 4K Blu-rays I use my PS5 or my Series X, just depending. I was gonna say, speaking of 4K Blu-rays, I do need to pick up the one for Barbie and the one for Oppenheimer, because they finally gave us a release date in November.
Oh, nice.
And they are doing a steelbook case for it, so I'm like, I want that steelbook.
Speaking of, things coming out and reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
How are the early reviews for Spider-Man 2?
Oh, the early reviews are saying it is amazing. They're saying, obviously, how do I say this? They say that the story is really good. There's definitely more, quote unquote, like bombastic scenes in this game compared to the first one, because the first one had a lot of big moments, but apparently this one has more of them.
Well, yeah, because they already threw a big name at us. Like,
Yeah.
one of the big villains of the game is going to be Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, you got to deal with Kraven, you got to deal with Venom, and then you have, like, the Sandman that they didn't, show until, like, way later.
Yeah. We're dealing with a lot of villains at once.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, the first game, a lot of people are like, the first game didn't have that many villains. It's like, yeah, it did.
Yeah, we had Mr. Negative.
Yeah, you had
Doc Ock,
Mr. Negative, Doc Ock,
Electro,
Electro, Vulture, Rhino,
Scorpion.
Yeah, you had Scorpion in there too. And then if you played the DLC, then you had to deal with then you had to deal with Tombstone already, but then you had to deal also with Hammerhead. And then you see the journey when you see the journey of Wraith as well. So that's going to be interesting. And I do know that Wraith does show up in the game, so I don't know what she's going to be doing, because it was revealed that the voice actress that does Yuri/Wraith is in the game.
Okay.
So my guess is something's going to happen. And we know at least one more of the villains is going to make a cameo appearance, because in one of the trailers they did show Martin Lee.
Okay.
So we'll see where it goes from there.
And a disclaimer for people who don't want spoilers of the game: stay off social media, YouTube.
I already got a
anything
chunk. No,
for
so
like a full 24 hours.
no,
that the
even
game's
before
released.
then, I already got a huge chunk of the story spoiled for me. Literally, the second I opened up my Twitter, because somebody managed to get their hands on a review copy, and instead of how do I say this? They just chose to be not nice. And they uploaded like a 30-second tidbit with a huge, part of the story. And it just started playing like the second I opened up my Twitter. And I'm like, really, guys? So I already got a chunk of it spoiled
The
for
only
me.
spoiler I really have is
Don't-
the main menu thing.
Well, I knew that, which I think is actually really cool, how the main menu screen changes as the story
I didn't
progresses.
see it because I knew it would have spoilers just because of the way it would look.
Yeah.
But I think that is a very cool concept.
I was going to say, I know other games have like sort of done it. Like The Last of Us Part 2, the menu does change, but it doesn't change like as you go through the story. It looks one way at the beginning, and then it looks one way at the end. But that's it.
That's how Devil May Cry 5 was, because at the when you first start the game, it's just Nero in the main menu.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's Nero, V, and Dante.
Okay. But yes, as you can see, Insomniac has Insomniac has been carrying PlayStation this generation.
Yeah.
Like, I know we discussed it previously, but they really have been. I mean, how do I say this? Guerrilla Games, they've only released one game so far. We got Forbidden West, which was still amazing.
Mm-hmm. It was amazing. Unfortunately, the competition for the Game of the Year awards.
I was gonna say they just had a bad release window. It's like, oh, we're gonna have you come out the same week as Elden Ring. That was just
yes. This same year, we're also releasing God of War.
Yes, it was stiff competition, but also like Guerrilla Games has only released one game. Naughty Dog, I mean, the remake doesn't really count.
Santa Monica,
Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping sometime we get a new Twisted Metal game, especially since the show is out now.
We'll see, because a lot of people thought that when they announced the show that the show was going to serve as like a way to like bring back the franchise and then to like do more games. But we'll see. Nothing's been announced officially.
I would love a new Twisted Metal game. Just don't make Santa Monica make it, because we all know how that ended.
Yes.
You cannot make every character Sweet Tooth.
No. But we'll just really see where it goes. I mean, Sony's probably got some big things, in the pipeline that we just don't know about.
Sony's always cooking.
We know Naughty Dog is working on something. More than likely, the big rumor is, especially since most of the staff got laid off for the Last of Us multiplayer game, so that's probably gone. But more than likely, the big rumor is that we are going to get a part 3, which makes sense because The Last of Us is more popular than ever right now.
Sucker Punch has been mad quiet.
So my guess is they probably got something.
Ghost of Tsushima, the Legendary Edition.
My guess is they probably have something cooking up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ghost of Tsushima, maybe a new IP. Guerrilla Games probably has some stuff in the pipeline.
I heard there's a rumor going on involving Guerrilla that possibly they're working on a Horizon multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which would be actually kind of cool.
I mean, Horizon definitely lends itself more to that kind of game anyways. Yeah, but also
multiple tribes and everything.
Yeah. But also, even though Kojima Productions isn't a like PlayStation owned studio, they basically how do I say this? Kojima primarily works with PlayStation anyways. That's why the only console version of Death Stranding was only on PlayStation. Yeah. So, and we know we're getting Death Stranding too because we got the trailer for it at the Game Awards, and we're probably going to get more footage. I wouldn't be surprised later on, so we know we're at least getting that. So PlayStation, they definitely got some big hits coming. We just have to wait a little more.
Konami being quiet as usual.
Yeah, we'll see what Konami does. But I think that about does it here for today's show. It was a little bit of a shorter episode because, wouldn't you know, your boy has to go to work. Got to make that money.
It's a day.
It is a day, but we do still thank you all so much for listening. We will be back next week. More chaos, more dumpster fire, much wow. This was a dumpster fire, and you were all warned.